Hey guys, what's going on? It's Microwave. Welcome to another video of Let's Talk About It, where I talk about tips, ideas, or problems within the games that I currently play. This is a continuing weekly video series that happens every single Friday. If you have something that you would like to ask or have me go in depth about, then leave a comment below. For this week's episode, I'd like to break down what I believe to be Ubisoft Montreal's operator table and how they came up with the ideas. I was at the Ubisoft Lounge event live in LA during the E3 event, and seeing how they made Blackbeard gave me the idea about this video. So we have the Brazilian operator DLC coming up, and there's been a lot of speculation about what these operators could be. We've heard all sorts of crazy ideas like flying drones and unicorns or tactical nukes. But with the release of Blackbeard, it shows how Ubisoft thinks in terms of creating these new operators, and it's quite simple. To begin, let's talk about shield users and how each one of them represent different aspects of the game. As of now, we could break down all shieldies into three separate categories: high, medium, and low. High meaning that they offer the most protection via their gadget or shield. Montaigne is clearly a high shield user, as he has a fully deployable shield that slightly hugs the side of him, in which it offers maximum protection from the front. Blitz would be placed in the medium category due to his shield not offering maximum protection. But when Blitz is crouched, he could block 90% of the incoming rounds, unless you're facing players from Syria, in which their latency will have you what the fuck getting wrecked, mate. Now with the introduction of Dustline and Blackbeard, we can accurately predict how the table will look. Blackbeard's small motorcycle windshield offers low protection, and thus will be placed into the low shield users category. Further evidence of this table can be shown in their weapons. Blackbeard, while being put into the low shield tier, has a semi-automatic rifle to keep him viable. I mean, a small shield on a pistol would just be dumb and nobody would ever play him. Blitz can use his shield and weapon at the same time, but he can also flash operators and blind them so that way he can get that clean headshot off. Montaigne can use his pistol too, but he has no offensive abilities other than staring at you while his shield is fully deployed, which kinda makes me think about nitro cells. I get the subject of nitro cells being very controversial on Reddit and the official forums. Personally, I believe that nitro cells should stay the way they are, but it looks like there could be some opportunity to help out Montaigne. Since Montaigne cannot go offensive when being fully erect, perhaps there could be some sort of resistance to the nitro cell itself, or maybe blocking some of that damage from hitting his teammates behind him. This is all, of course, relying upon the fact that the nitro cell lands in front of Montaigne and not behind. I'm not quite sure, but I feel like there could be something there to make him more viable. So going back to how Ubisoft creates operators, the same table from the shieldies can be true about most, if not all, of the current operators. I actually talked about this earlier in the Brazilian operators idea video. So for the defending team, we can apply high, medium, and low tier to their gadgets. We have Capkin, who has a high risk, high reward gadget. If you have the unfortunate chance to not see the red laser while zerging into the objective room, then it's good game for you. With the recent changes that Capkin had, he's seen a substantial increase, but that's most likely due to him being new. After playing him for a bit and facing him, I feel that his new upgrade might be a bit too good. I absolutely love how they took the red spike off, but the laser is kinda hard to see, and it's 100% invisible if you're colorblind. By the way, Ubisoft, please give support to the colorblind, seriously. Frost would most definitely be placed into the medium category, because her trap is difficult to see, but it doesn't fully kill you like Capkin's trap does. It puts you in the down but not out stance until you either get rezzed or killed. However, there is no operator gadget that is a trap that would fit into the low risk, low reward tier. This could be an opportunity for Ubisoft in the upcoming DLCs. Whether it be something that pings the team when somebody goes through a doorway, or does a small amount of damage when somebody steps into it, I don't know, but I firmly believe that something will be implemented to fulfill this gap. Now, breaching operators use the same table as well, except for having a small tweak, but the basics are the exact same. Instead of high, medium, and low, we have long, medium, and short range. Ashe would be placed into the long range bracket because she can breach walls and windows from a great distance. Buck should be placed into the medium range, but his environmental damage on his skeleton key was nerfed. But it is confirmed by its epi that his damage will be coming back. As for now, it takes 3 to 4 skeleton key rounds to allow for a vaultable hole in the wall. I actually just use his gadget to get very quick kills when rounding corners, so expect his gadget to come back to its full potential in the near future. Now, I'm sure you can all see where this is going. Of course, Mr. Hammer Time himself would be breaking his way into the short range tier, because Sledge is fucking awesome. Now let's talk about operators that I like to call the anti-breachers. The same exact table that was applied earlier still fits with these guys as well. Mute is a low tier anti-breacher, because his jammers do not destroy nor kill the attacking opponent's breaching gadget, unless you're Thermite and happen to try to take off the charge, in which it could blow up in your face. I'm sure this will get fixed soon, but in all seriousness, please test out the new patches before deployment, Ubisoft. Come on, guys. Bandit would definitely smuggle his way into a medium tier because his gadget actually destroys the breaching charge. But there isn't an operator that straight kills you if you try to place something on the wall. So there is some opportunity for Ubisoft to take advantage of that, and it could be placed into the high tier as well. It could be some sort of one-time use copper plate IED that goes off when somebody's trying to breach it. I don't know. But again, the same concept that we talked about earlier can be used for the defenders that block off areas with their gadgets. We have Castle, who would build his useless dragon skin into the low tier. His gadget can actually cause some pain for the attacking team if they don't have a method of destroying the dragon skin and are forced to melee it 12 times. This actually happened to me last night when I was playing IQ in a ranked game. I decided to get flashbangs instead of breaching charges, and I grabbed the hostage only to turn around to face a dragon scale armored door. So I had to melee hit 12 times to get out. It was quite sad. However, his gadget still blocks off an area, making it difficult for an attacking team to get through. Smoke would 420 himself into the medium tier because of his toxic babes. They completely cut off an area for a short amount of time, but unlike Castle's walls, the smoke can kill you if you camp in it. And Lord Chanka himself is intended to be in the high tier because his LMG was designed to lock down a corridor or an area of his choosing. The only problem is that it's stationary and he can become a sitting duck. If they were to put it on a Segway or place it on his head, in which it would auto 360 fire, he would become the Lord of all lockdowns. Now, the defending gadgets can become a real problem from the attacking team if they aren't dealt with properly. This is where Twitch, IQ, and Thatcher would come into play. Twitch is a low tier gadget clear because her drone is very susceptible to attacks. Seeing how it can only take one hit from anything for a drone to kick the bucket. Her baby drone has 15 charges and can single out gadgets whenever she wants. IQ would slide her fat booty and sexy shoes into the medium tier. Now, with proper positioning and aiming, she can clear a whole room without ever setting foot into a doorway. Thatcher is definitely in the top tier because of his AoE clearing ability through walls and floors. Even after his AoE nerf, he is still a great choice when wanting to clear the enemy's gadgets. From the next table, we're going to look at what I call the protectors. These protectors offer their gadgets to the team and allow for counters to the attackers. Coming in on the low tier is our boy Rook. He likes to pass those plates around to allow for better protection against the attackers, but they don't bring you up when you've been downed or killed. Doc, on the other hand, would heal his way into the medium tier because his stim pistol brings back people from range with 75 HP instead of 50, which could mean life or death in a firefight. Now, what do you guys think could be in the high tier? Valkyrie, that's right. Now, you may ask, yo, Microwave, she doesn't really do any protecting, bro. What are you talking about, man? Well, that's completely wrong, and let me explain. Valkyrie is a high tier protector because her cameras offer intel on the position and range of the opponents. What better way to protect your team by feeding them info and allowing for a better defensive stance on the objective? Valkyrie may not bring people back from death, which is probably where you thought I was going, but bringing an operator back from death would ruin the game and ruin my immersion. Could you imagine taking a round to the head and some chick comes over and pats you on the head, tells you to get back into the fight, now you're back into the fight with a gaping wound on your head? I don't think so. That's not gonna happen, guys. Now let's talk about roamers. You probably are wondering if I forgot about my most played operators, didn't you? Jaeger is by far the best roamer, not only because of his weapon, but because he has a set it and forget it gadget. He can place down his suction cup toy and be on his way, knowing that he will block some nades and flashbangs for his team. So you get to be in the high tier, Jaeger. Go you, buddy. Pulse will most definitely secondary monitor his way into the medium roamer spot because of his blatant wall hacks. However, if Pulse was to die or get moved into a manager spot for a team who should have never been into the finals in Cologne, Germany, then he would become useless. Now, there isn't a low tier roaming operator. I know guys, this is the part where you start screaming, yo, appliance that talks and heats up hot pockets. Bandit is a low tier roamer. Come on, man, what are you talking about? And this is true, but Bandit can do something far better, and that is to place his stolen car batteries on a reinforced wall after it's been thatched or twitched. This is commonly referred to as the Bandit trick. A lot of pro players use him in that capacity, and thus he does not roam as much as Jaeger or Pulse in the beginning of the game. Ubisoft has an opportunity to create an operator that would be in the low tier roamer spot. It is rumored that an operator is coming in the upcoming Brazilian DLC that allows for players to climb through hatches via a ladder. If so, this would be a great meta change in the game, because we can always drop down but we have no way to get back up. We can really use this on maps like Canal in the White Top building where there's only one way up. I really hope we see something like this in the near future. We only have one method of opening up reinforced walls, and that's Thermite. He always makes a big fucking hole, and the defense because of his charges. However, there really isn't a high, medium, or low table to put him into. One could argue that he could be in the breaching table, but he is the only operator that can make it hot with the reinforced walls. But he can be placed into a large or medium reinforcement breach size table. This would allow Ubisoft to create an operator which allows for small size holes to be created via a drill or extra C4 of some sort. I would really like peeking spots inside reinforced barricades. That would be awesome. Now let's talk about Fuse. Fuse is a weird operator that I consider the jack of all trades. He could be a medium shield user or a high gadget clearer. He could be used as a short range breacher even with his gadget. Fuse fits into any role, and that's why I highly suggest him to new players. I mean, let's get the newbies to learn how not to fuse the hostage. Now what about Glass Microwave? Where's my comrade? And I'll be real with you about this. Let me explain where I put this guy. I talked about it in my first ever Let's Talk About It episode, and how I believe he was just added to say that there was a sniper in the game. I explained how most maps are CQB based and how a sniper does not fit into the game. Honestly, Glass is in a tier of his own. He's usually hanging out on top of random buildings, hoping that somebody runs in front of a busted window and stops there for 3 seconds so that way he can get a headshot off. But then again, I guess we all know that smoke is the real sniper, right? I know this isn't an exact science, but it's abundantly clear on what some of Ubisoft's objectives were when they were making these operators. Hopefully you can use some of these tables to accurately predict an incoming operator for a future DLC. I personally would love Ubisoft to incorporate the boosted heartbeat sensor that they used in the jungle when attacking the Brazilian compound in the book. The boosted heartbeat sensor could pick up everyone within the battlefield and allow for better callouts for the Rainbow Six team. Perhaps something like a one-time use satellite ping or a predator drone sensor that would show everybody within the building or compound for the attacking team. So what would you guys like to see in the upcoming Brazilian and Japanese DLC? Let me know what you guys want, and if you have any ideas for my next Let's Talk About It video. And so yeah, that's all I got for you guys. If you guys liked it, you should give me a thumbs up. Let's go for 4 likes this time. And if for some reason you really liked it, you should tap that subscribe button like it's hot. I'll see you guys next time. So be sure to place it facing a hot zone. Instead of getting directly behind the shield, you should get back as far as possible from it so that way you could decrease the size of your head. As you can see here, there's a clear difference between being close to the shield and being far away from it. Even with the shield so far out in front of him, he is way safer than being nuts to butts with a shield. Also keep in mind that whenever you're camping behind one, you need to keep your flanks safe.